up in that top lane, and so maybe the Gwen is the champ he feels most comfortable on, as we are seeing it now for a second time. Things, at least for now, seem fairly conventional in terms of the runes.
Maybe worried a little bit about Azir in mid lane, just because he has the D ring. We've seen sometimes the Aries get very aggressive early. Maybe this won't be it. Jimmy, he has Electrocute rather than Airy. But sometimes the Azir gets poked out very early and then kind of struggles to reach the items that he needs. Everything else, though, I think you're right, does look pretty normal. Is the Ignite TP on the Gwen as opposed to maybe the Ghost? I think you kind of just need that to be able to fight Renekton. Does make you a lot more vulnerable, though, to getting ganked.
Definitely.
Jimmy on this Ahri, we've seen him on it before. He likes to move around the map. And Ahri Vi is a very hard combo to survive against. WSL, that ward is placed, and this is something we see a lot of the top teams do, is warding these Raptors at level 1 to get confirmation on which side the jungler is starting. Otherwise, it can be a solo start on the Wolves or the Raptors. Gives you a lot of extra information to play with. Maybe wondering how JP can do in this top lane. It has the combat summon and his choice of matchup. But Renekton has looked pretty unstoppable. Unless your name's RJ, pretty much.
Yeah, true. I mean, even interesting down in this bot lane, seeing the Maokai down here for the first time this split, has in the past been pretty good as the support, but I think that was more when you preferred the AP Maokai with those saplings. Not as powerful, you'd have to say, at the moment. Well, let's see, though, if Inhao and Pepero can make this work. Of course, Maokai will offer a fairly decent setup for the Blade Caller and the Root, as well as the Xayah damage to come through.
I have to say, mid lane is honestly going a lot better for Zhao 2. He is able to just clear this wave. Doesn't look like he's getting harassed too much by Jimmian. They're doing a much better job just to stabilize this early game, and so often Dewish team do just fall apart super early. So if they can keep things interesting, at least until 20 minutes, they do buy time for their 3 scaling carries to kind of come online.
Gemini really, really far ahead in his jungle clear.
Yeah, he did get a leash, importantly, so that does speed him up.
True.
And maybe bot lane is feeling the impacts of that, as they were forced to lose prior, at least in those first few levels, but now should be able to start pushing back. And there's a ping on the way to top lane from WSL. He's skipping 2 of his top camps, and he's going to go for... Okay, so he just places a ward. Charm does go wide and mid. Jimmy and even took a tower shot there. I think Gwen used her ward at level 1. Okay, yeah, I see what happened. So Gwen used her ward at level 1 just in case there was a 3-camp top coming out from Vi. So WSL had to quickly run top there to place a ward to cover the Gwen because there was no ward available. But that's going to mean even further behind in the jungle clear, you can see Gemini, he's already able to pressure, is just walking into the river. I think we'll be spotted out on that bot scuttle. Does look like it. And bot lane, with that priority, maybe they can set up a dive of their own. Feels like diving a Xayah, not always the easiest, even pre-6. But he's going to enter the bot jungle, so what else would he be looking for? I think they're going to try 3
Yeah,
man
they
nest.
are. And Chelsea finding...
They got Maokai's aftershock.
Yeah, okay, that could be massive. It certainly will not be up for this dive. It's going to be a lot on how they can execute the tower aggro, though. Big wave crashing. Pepero setting up a few feathers, but probably not optimally. As here we go. Chelsea finds both. Pepero flashes. Is still going to be killed by that headbutt pulverize. And first blood already going over to Gemini as rest now. Feeling the impact of that split map, but Pepero, without that ghost and without that flash, shouldn't be long for this world, as it will be Gemini tanking it up and Shun finding himself a kill as well. So early lead over to CFO.
Rough. There's a lot lost there for the Dewish team bot lane. And unfortunately, not a whole lot traded back top. Really wasn't that much else I think Dewish team could have done. I guess maybe the flash initially wasn't the best on that Alistair engage. Right, like I think Enhao maybe could have flashed the combo and lived. I think Pepero also got knocked up despite flashing. So maybe could have been better executed, but with your jungler on the other side of the map, there's always going to be lots of opportunities. Jimmy, maybe being looked at here. He's pretty low.
Does land the charm, but might have to pop his flash here. In fact, will. While you are fairly safe as Ahri at level 6, could be the potential for a gank here. being that you do have this Poppy with the ground.
And we'll get a replay on the top side, actually. So they're looking for this dive on Rest. They are level 5, and Rest is fairly low. I'm surprised that... Ooh, okay, so they just could never really get an angle to put him on the wall. And Rest played this very smart, I think. If he had positioned a bit closer to the wall, could have been in trouble, and that's JP. I think he's a little frustrated, maybe. I think that could have been a kill on Renekton if better executed. And now, bot lane being looked at. They don't have sums on Pepero. Jimmy, with that prio, is in the river. Vijalto, he's been getting the better of him in trades.
This should be, yeah, 6 minutes, so a bit late to the Dragon for CFO standards.
Yeah, a little late. Jimmy, we got some honey fruit, and Jiaotu's pretty much I think that will force a reset, and that will be the first Dragon going over to CFO. I think they're definitely on pace to pick up those first 2 objectives, the Herald as well. Got the Renekton on the top side, of course, as well as a bot lane that can rotate up a lot easier, given how fed they are.
JP doing well, though, to maintain, you know, at least an even scoreline here in the top side. Although, granted, he has had a bit of jungle pressure from WSL.
The wave is good for him, so he's going to be able to pull ahead a little bit. Level 7, though, for Rest.
See if JP gets it off those minions, too.
And Merc Treads very early here on the Ahri. So maybe really respecting the Azir Poppy combo coming out. I think it's a little early to buy them, if I'm honest, but I respect the safety. He still has the mobility, of course, to move around the map, so just really wants to make sure that he is not a viable target for Dewish team. As Gemini, he might look bot before Herald.
Yeah, Herald in 38 seconds. His bot line at the moment, and he will be spotted out by a ward, so it should be Pepero and in-house staying fairly safe here.
It is level 6 on the Vi, though.
Gonna find another ward here, will Gemini.
Pepero resets, so not going to be anything. Can they take away this red before playing for the Herald? If they could get both, that would be a big win for CFO. And they're going to try. I mean, they know Pepero reset, have bot and mid priority, so I think this will just be a red going over. Dewish team, they kind of need to start Herald as soon as possible, but I don't think they're going to be able to. So this red, it looks like it'll go over for free.
Yeah, Inhal will spot that out with a sapling right now. Gemini smiting that away, nice and easy. Poppy though, WSL, I don't know what he's doing. He has no business being in the spot side, but maybe looking to counter gank. In fact, maybe this is a really good timing. Pepero looked at, he does not have access to the Featherstorm, and the Killer Instinct will come through here. His first kill of the engage will be found by Gemini. That was just a 2v2. Chelsea was off in mid lane.
Yeah, a lot less CC that can come out, and it feels like, I don't know, Dewish team bot lane, obviously they're behind, but WSL also hasn't really been able to find anything. Finds nothing on top. It doesn't get a Herald trade for that red buff, and doesn't even get bot lane in time to stop the gank. So currently, Gemini kind of running rings around WSL in the jungle. Should now be able to path out to his top side, grab his red, and feels like Herald not far behind. Look at the bot lane CS. Feel bad for Pepero. I mean, he's been dived twice now, and it certainly manifests in those CS and items. Shiv picked up for Shun. Will catapult him even further ahead. Now, Jiaotu has done a good job to make sure he's not really bleeding anything in the mid lane. Will he get the time to actually scale up, though?
Oh, JP. This could be dangerous. There is, importantly, no cease and desist available for the Vi. So, although you don't have any escape summoners, should be safe enough. But this should be the Herald going over to CFO, you have to think.
Definitely. I think especially with Jiaotu's kind of state right now, is out of mana. We'll just want to go for a reset. But Azir is scaling nicely into this game, which is kind of the Azir Gwen feel like the lifeline for Dewish team. Need those carries to scale up quickly, because soon CFO, they're really going to come online. And this is not a team that likes to let up win ahead.
No. Can't really expect to be getting a whole lot of objectives off of CFO. And with that Rift Herald picked up, the investment should be placed into bot, you have to feel. Only 3 plates left there, and their tendency to dive this Xayah. Although Featherstorm makes it a little bit harder, I think they'll still look to pressure this bot side with the Herald.
Does feel like it. A minute on the Dragon as well. I think CFO definitely going to want to look to pick that up. I wonder how much gold JP is sitting on. He reset ages ago. Ooh, is this going to be a lane gank from Gemini? He's not going to go towards the bot lane. Instead, he's going to come through top. He knows that there's no defensive sum on JP. The wave looks pretty hard to gank.
I think you can dive.
Virenectin is pretty strong, though. Ooh,
Oh, JP, he's
him.
dead. He's dead. Yeah, there's no escape. You've used your only escape now. It's on a short cooldown, but with rest and the damage Gemini is able to put out, you will be going down. Killing spree now for Gemini on this Vi. Is not going to use the Herald top, so
Okay.
does just find rest a little bit of time in this lane for himself, and now will reset, likely to hit bot side as Dragon spawning now in 15 seconds. Maybe even heralding mid.
Feels like Gemini is just everywhere. WSL is kind of nowhere to be seen. And Dewish team, the way they're kind of posturing is that they want this Dragon fight, but I honestly think until Azir gets one item, they just have no chance. So I'm surprised they're playing so aggressively here. I think it would be much better to trade, if anything.
Oh no.
Oh, I love this by Xiaoxi.
Oh no. Okay, WSL here now though. No way they saw Chelsea, right?
No, I don't think so. I think the W might have given it away, though, and I think Gemini just wants to do that Dragon instead. There's two Drags, starting to speed up the Dragon pace. And they still have this Herald. We'll see where it goes. I think bot lane could maybe be the place.
Yeah, 2 plates now on that bot tower, so with the Herald usage as well as the 3-man strong unit of CFO, does feel like it should be going over to them, this first blood tower.
Yeah, Gemini, I think you can just come place it in lane, and that will probably finish it off. Maybe leave it very low, and this will be a big gold swing, I think, getting this first tower. Currently, it is 22k on CFO. They grab this,
Wow.
goes up by a full 1,000, and a lot of that goes on to this very fed Vi and Kaisa. Maybe now looking at mid, Xiaozu should be safe, as long as he respects the range.
All season desist will be used. He doesn't manage to get the shuffle off, and it's Gemini able to find himself another one there in the mid lane. Jimmy and picking up the gold for it, but good timings by Gemini. He's found something in all 3 lanes now, while WSL still sitting 0-0-0. In fact, behind in CS and objectives as well.
This is just Jungle Kingdom by Gemini. This is one of those games where you're playing solo queue, your jungler hasn't done anything down CS, and you wonder, how are you down farm if you haven't pressured the lanes at all? And it feels like WSL is just reacting to Gemini, right? He's trying to chase him around the map, trying to stop the heralds, stop the dives, but he's just a little too late every time. Gemini making those proactive plays, certainly looking very good. And there was a reason why he was one of probably the best Vi of last split. He played so much of it. And I really like the Vi's that are more than just a point-and-click R, right? Like, this is a Vi that does a lot of damage. And Xiaozu, he could have respected the range. I'm not too
saw
sure.
him as well.
Yeah, I think he just thought he'd get the WE off in time and maybe pull the Vi under the tower, but he maybe just misjudged it a little. And then is in a bit of trouble. But still no first item completed by Azir, 14 minutes in. Looks like he's working on the Nashes as well, but that's very, very slow, of course. And a huge CS lead for Jimian. 31 now at 14 minutes.
Yeah, it was 14 minutes has gone by. As you said, it is going to be 8 plates to 1 here, the difference. And it looks like an inner tower going down just for fun.
Does feel that way. And second Herald feels like there's no doubt it'll go to CFO. And with 2 towers already bought, there is potential for CFO to just drop that bot and try to take an inhib with it. Sometimes early inhibs can be bad, but CFO, not the kind of team that'll let it go on for very long.
No. Particularly when you have this much of a dragon advantage as well. Obviously, if you are able to get that dragon at roughly the same time you take the inhib, it will be down, giving you pressure on a lane constantly, and does help you get that soul.
And that's pretty unfortunate there. Looking at the player goal, the most fed member of Dewish team is a full K behind the weakest carry of CFO.
Yeah. Dire times here for Dewish team. And it feels like there's not that big of an avenue, at least yet. If you maybe get one item on this Azir, an item on the Xayah, a good combo can catch you out. I mean, at this point, Gemini is who you want to kill. Has the most gold on the team as a shutdown.
I think that is key. You do need shutdowns to win this game. I don't think it's enough just to farm. I think you need 2 items on Gwen, Azir, and Xayah to have a chance. And realistically, you don't have time to get that gold without getting some kills.
Gemini is behind enemy lines, taking this wolf camp. Not going to look for a dive, though. I think, yeah, dive a little bit too risky, especially with the Rift Herald spawning now. And Dewish team can't walk in this river. The river is absolutely not theirs.
Nope, and Herald spawning in 5 seconds. I think this is going to be yet another objective that Gemini starts on spawn. He's actually just done everything this game. He's ganked all 3 lanes. He's taken the enemy red buff. And he's done basically every objective on spawn except for that very first drag. That's incredible jungle performance.
Definitely. And it feels a little bit like it's because he's on the Vi. He has looked so tremendous on this champion. And it does, in fairness, have itself a lot more sort of capability to look for, you know, your objectives and whatnot. You're going to do a lot more damage to it than you would if you were like the Maokai, for example. And so when you do get ahead, as soon as an objective spawns, you are able to go and just take it by yourself, especially with this Divine Sundra build. At times, we do see Vi's going for other mythics, Radiant Virtue being a notable one.
Only 13 seconds on the 3rd dragon here. Dewish team, it always feels like when you get to the 3rd dragon that you should contest, but they can't. They don't have the gold, they don't have the items. They want to buy more time to farm, but really they have to try catch CFO overextending. The Herald has dropped mid, and CFO, I think they want to try make a pick. They're playing very aggressively here.
Very, very far forward. Gemini on the side. Oh my, 3-man engaged here, found from Xiaoxi, but it's going to be that Poppy ult booting him out of the fight as Killer Instinct will come down to ensure that first kill here onto Enhao. Fight certainly in full force as Jimmy in, looks for the charm, goes for Zhao2, but finds Pepero. That's another 2 kills found. 3 in total here for CFO as the Rift Herald manages to secure them 2 towers as well.
Maybe even more.
Zhao2, it's not over. Flashes forward, but Jimmy unfortunately does miss that charm, which does mean that they will not find the kill here on Zhao2. And critically, Xiaoxi living on 1 HP means perfect game still alive.
Xiaoxi just back-to-back insane engages there. It felt like most of this game was on the back of Gemini, but wow, that was some insane Alistair play. Finds the initial knock-up onto 2 of the carries. Obviously has that Unbreakable Will and can survive for so long. Now, the Rift Herald did get smited mid-fight, I think, to make sure it couldn't get any more damage. But, I mean, you can really just see the wallet gap at this point, right? There's no damage coming through from Dewish team.
Oh, that's so sad as Pepero.
Yeah. Was a very nice charm, of course, to seal his fate. Medjai's picked up by Jimmy with only 6 stacks. I think he knows how this game is going to go. 18 minutes, gold leader's already crested past 10,000.
And perfect game is on the cards.
Definitely, and I think CFO, they've got a good comp for doing it too. These are not easy champs to kill. JP being looked at in the side lane. Remember, he does not have the ghost. Xiaoxi, he's on a long flank.
Yeah, okay. You can go untargetable, but not from an Alistair, as she is going to commit that Shroud. Does manage to dodge out of the Everfrost, but it is inevitable that this Gwen is found, and it will be Jimmy in picking up his 3rd from 6 stacks to 10 now as this top lane inner, the next focus. So many objectives being taken here. It's only 19 minutes in, but pretty much no towers left to talk about. Just really those inhibitors.
Yep, and I think if I were CFO, I'm pretty sure you can just start this Baron on spawn. There's no way that Dewish team can come and contest. And once you get that, you should be able to siege it down. You've even got the Nashes on the Kai'Sa, so you've got the DPS you need. Jimin, he's sticking around. He's got the Medjai's move speed now with 10 stacks. Now there is getting closer to 2 items on the side of Dewish team. You think there's pretty much no chance they can get it at any relevant time. But there are pings already and a TP coming out from Jimmy, and I think CFO want to start this. They want to force Dewish team to come fight them. And it's not a fight they can win.
No. But I think now, at this stage of the game as Dewish team, all you're really looking for is to ensure it's not a perfect game.
Yeah, you just want to try
Maybe
kill
you just
someone.
keep Zhao2 down there. Get that tower.
True, that could be it. There is a TP from Rest, though, to defend it. They want to try I want to try.
Okay, Chelsea going forward first and finding a massive chunk here on Dienhao. It should be Jimmy picking that up. In fact, Ignite will finish it off from Chelsea. Baron does go down. There is 3 charges of the Spirit Rush still alive. As he does go forward, the Featherstorm will come out, and with that, Jimmy does fall away.
But CFO, what about the bot tower? Are we going to TP to that?
Oh, Zhao 2 might be putting a stop to the perfect game.
Oh no, rest.
It will end. There is no perfect game to come through.
It will end, but I think Rest is actually doing the right thing. You should just Baron mid. Unfortunately, that does come at the cost of the perfect game. But now, pushing down, they're going for a quick game instead, rather than a perfect one.
Yeah.
They've got 2 inhibs already, and they've got the waves they need. I wouldn't be
massive minion waves.
Ooh, okay, they are actually going to play it super safe and back off. Again, it does kind of make sense, right? If you want to close this out cleanly, all you need to do now is go down bot lane as 5. You can go Dragon later if you really need it. Now, you've got enough time on Baron that you can just go bot.
Yeah.
But I think also maybe could have tested the limits and gone for the end. 3 items already on Shun, only 21 minutes in.
Yeah, I think at this stage, if Dewish team were to win, you need the Xayah to pick up all 3 of those shutdowns, get a Penta in one team fight, and then maybe Pepero has the items to realistically fight. But even then, even if you do that, it's a stretch, and to do that is even more of a stretch, so...
Still a full minute and a half on Baron, and 4th drag spawning in a minute, and now I think he's caught.
Yeah, we'll use the Bramble Smash to try and hit Gemini away, but look how fast this Vi is. We'll be catching up to you. That Blue Smite making it even easier, and Rest claims himself on as the Everfrost will in fact find JP, but the Shroud going down ensures his safety as he runs away. But all focus really does just need to go to this bot lane inhib, and it should be the game.
There is just no way to defend this. I think this will be all she wrote for Dewish team. Maybe a big Poppy ult could delay it a little bit. Holds it for now. There's a big wave already. They just don't have the damage, I don't think.
Yeah, even with the Nexus Towers, really isn't going to be the damage to come through. As another nice engage will be found from Chelsea. They're trying to end it, but they're trying to get their KDs up as well. Have to be careful not to die as the Poppy ult will come through and ensure Shun gets taken away. Chelsea goes forward, will be able to go gold, and his Rest now becomes the menace in the front line. All attention now towards this last Nexus Tower, and now the Nexus, they aren't looking for another kill, they are just going to end the game. 0-12 was almost the perfect game. Chelsea